If you've watched like 2 or 3 of my videos, then you probably noticed that I keep bringing up Despicable Me. And this is for one simple reason, that being that I am the #1 Despicable Me fan. I do not think that a single Despicable Me movie is bad. I consider 3 the worst one, and even then it's still kind of good. So naturally, I was excited for Despicable Me 4. When I walked into the theater, I was expecting a revolutionary piece of cinema that would challenge how I view the world. And after watching the movie, what did I think? Well, let's just say that they should change the name of this movie to Disappointing Me 4, because it was disappointing me for an hour and a half. Okay, so obviously I wasn't expecting the movie to be a masterpiece or anything. It's a Despicable Me movie after all, but I was still excited to see it. It honestly looked like it would be pretty good, but it wasn't, and now I'm going to complain about it in this video. Spoilers, by the way. In Despicable Me 4, Gru and his family go into witness protection because Maxime Lemall, the very evil villain from Gru's childhood that has never been mentioned until now, has escaped from prison and is trying to get revenge on Gru. Okay, so first of all, why does Gru need to go into witness protection now? He's defeated many villains before, and he even took down a despicable villain team when he was a kid. I mean, I guess he has a baby now, so maybe Gru wants to get into witness protection to be safe, but also, he's got an entire army of minions, and those guys don't die. Second of all, I think they should rename Maxime Lemall to Maxime Lamall, because he's not a very good villain. I think the villains in Despicable Me movies get worse with each movie. Vector is peak, El Macho is great, Purple Guy is good, and Maxime is just there. I didn't expect him to be as great as Vector. After all, you can't improve on perfection, but I at least expected him to be good. That being said, there are 2 things I like about him, those being his design and the reason he's trying to get revenge on Gru in the first place. He literally just wants to kill Gru because he stole a song on a 9th grade talent show. It's such a stupid motivation, and I find it funny. He's voiced by Will Ferrell instead of, you know, a French guy, and his French accent ranges from kinda good to pretty bad. Maxime's whole thing is that he likes cockroaches like a weirdo, but some pretty cool things come from this. He's got an army of roaches, a big cockroach robot, and even a gun that turns people into cockroaches that he actually used on himself. These things are pretty interesting, and it could have been used for some cool plot stuff. Notice how I said it could have. The cockroach army just kind of disappears after they help Maxime escape prison off screen. His robot falls through the roof before it could do anything interesting, and the cockroach gun is pretty much just used to turn Gru's new baby evil for like 5 minutes. I'm kind of mad about how they wasted the robot in particular, because the movie introduces minions with superpowers. How is a climax not a fight between them and the robot? Maxime has a girlfriend, but she doesn't do anything, so like, either cut her from the movie or give her something to do. This movie introduces the Mega Minions, which are the superpower minions I talked about earlier, and I was so excited to see them. They were in nearly all the trailers, and I was ready to see what wacky antics they get up to in the movie. They were in it for like 5 minutes. And this really sucks, because honestly, the Mega Minion parts were easily the best part of the movie. The scenes that focus on them were actually funny, something that can't be said about most of the other scenes in this movie. It's almost as if giving the minions the ability to cause more minion mayhem was a funny idea and should have been utilized more. I'm kind of conflicted on their designs though. I really like Mega Minion Gus and Jerry's design, but everyone else is just fine. The Mega Minion scenes are generally some of my favorite parts of any Despicable Me movie, and it's really a shame that they were barely focused on. But here's the thing, none of the plots in this movie really have a focus put on them. Why is that? It's because there's like 6 different plots in this movie. Also, only like 2 of them connect to the main Maxime Lemall plot. So there's this one plot where Lucy becomes a hairstylist and she angers this rich lady. This lasts 2 minutes before it's forgotten about. I'm not sure if this counts as a plot line, but there's 1 or 2 scenes in this movie where Gru's trying to befriend his neighbor who doesn't like him. I didn't really care. There's other plot line where Agnes doesn't want to use her fake name because lying is bad. And in a scene where she goes to karate class, and yes, I do mean a scene, she almost says her real name. At first, I thought that Agnes having trouble using her fake name would lead to a scene where she accidentally reveals it, which reveals Gru's location to Maxime, but that doesn't happen. Instead, Maxime finds Gru because he stole a honey badger in one of the other plots. Speaking of which, another plot line focuses on Gru and a new character, Poppy, trying to break into Gru's old villain school in order to steal the school's mascot. I actually kind of like the heist plot. Not only is it cool to see Gru do something kind of despicable, but also the principal is funny and the honey badger is cool. Also, it actually connects to the Maxime Lemall thing. And there's a Mega Minion plot I talked about, and a plot revolving around Gru's relationship with his brand new baby, who hates him. Gru's baby is such a pointless character. He's just here to bully Gru for lame jokes. I mean, I guess Maxime's revenge plan does involve kidnapping him, but I honestly did not care. I didn't get attached to this character in like the 10 minutes he's in the movie. I wasn't weeping when Maxime took him and turned him into a cockroach guy. You know what would have been really devastating? If he kidnapped Kevin, Bob, and Stuart. I might be forgetting about a plotline. I was watching this movie in a theater and didn't want to start taking out my phone to write notes, but I'm pretty sure I got all of them. The finale of the movie is pretty bad. Robot and Maxime's girlfriend get defeated by falling through the roof before either of them could do anything, and the way Maxime is defeated is so underwhelming. Gru just hits him in the face, causing him to fall and get run over by the Mega Minions. Hooray! At the very end, all the old villains show up in jail, and Vector does the floss. This shouldn't be legal. Speaking of which, how is Vector in jail? At the end of the Moon short, he ended up in Mars. So how did he escape? And why is Scarlet Overkill here? I'm pretty sure she got arrested in London, so she should be in a British prison. Whatever, it's cool seeing all the old villains again. Speaking of which, this movie has some references to the first one, like Gru's shrink ray showing up, and Gru referencing how he stole the moon, which made me realize that they kind of just forgot a lot of stuff from the first movie after the second. Like Dr. Nefario just kind of shows up in cameos now. He doesn't even talk in the third one. Gru's neighbor doesn't show up after the second one, I don't think. And I'm pretty sure the fart gun just stopped being used after the second movie, but it could have been a third one and I'm just forgetting. The movie's visuals and animation is good, as is the music, especially during the Mega Minion scenes because they do everything right. The end credits song is good as well because Pharrell Williams is better than Mozart, but I did make the mistake of listening to this song before the movie, which led me to believe the movie would be good. I mean, the movie isn't bad or anything, it's just fine. It's really good at some parts, but it's just boring at others. I think that Despicable Me 4 could have been a really good movie because it does have some good ideas, but it suffers from having too many ideas, resulting in the final product just being okay. If the movie cuts some of the plots, like the one revolving around Lucy being a hairstylist, Rue trying to befriend his neighbor, and a karate thing the last scene that never gets brought up again, this movie could have been a lot better. Maybe Lucy could have gone to train the Mega Minions instead, so she's, you know, still in the movie, while Gru could have spent his time trying to prepare for the heist with Poppy while taking care of the girls and baby. Also, maybe there's something in a villain school Gru plans on stealing other than the honey badger that will help protect him from Maxine the Mole or something, I don't know. One problem with this little rewrite I did is that the girls don't really have a lot to do, but they don't really do much in the actual movie anyway, so whatever. In conclusion, Despicable Me 4 was very disappointing, and now I am sad. That being said, I am still the #1 Despicable Me fan, and I am 100% sure that the next movie will be an absolute masterpiece that will be nominated for multiple Oscars. Hopefully the Mega Minions show up more in future movies because they are very cool and awesome, and if they don't show up, I will cry. Now if you excuse me, I have to buy every piece of Despicable Me merch 5 times to prove that I am in fact the #1 Despicable Me fan. Bye I guess.